Have you ever come across a situation where you approach the seller and find out that the seller may have lost their faculties and there's another person that has a power of attorney for them that is ready to sign a real estate contract and ready to get that property to closing? Have you ever been across those situations where maybe the seller doesn't have a power of attorney and now you're trying to figure out what's the next step, what do you do? Or maybe they're trying to sell the property for their parent that passed and they never went through probate. These are some of the crazy questions that come up all the time. And on today's Hot Topic episode, we're gonna dive in on all of this stuff when it comes to the real estate transaction and the power of attorney and what you're looking for. So one of the first things that comes up in a real estate transaction with a power of attorney is, where's the power of attorney? Who has it and where is it? That is really important because once you know those facts, the next step you're gonna take is making sure you get that power of attorney to the title company, and the title company is gonna make sure they get it to the title insurance underwriter. Why? For that real estate transaction to potentially go through, that title underwriter is gonna have to review the power of attorney, because for them to issue the policy to the buyer, they're gonna wanna make sure that the power of attorney is valid, is good, and allows for a real estate transaction. So when you're looking at the power of attorney, even before you get it to the title company, check to see, does it allow for a real estate transaction? And if a probate situation is involved, does it allow for a potential probate for the person that may have lost their faculties and is no longer able to sign documents? That's gonna be key. So making sure the title company has the POA, underwriting, reviews the power of attorney, that the power of attorney complies with title insurance requirements is one of the big first steps that you can take. Also, where is the original power of attorney? The title company is going to eventually want the original power of attorney to make sure it gets recorded and make sure title insurance is happy that it gets recorded in that county. So make sure you get with the title company and your favorite title company to make sure all that stuff gets done and recorded. The other thing that plays a role is what happens when the seller is on that property or is living in that property and maybe mom or dad had died, there was no probate, but the seller's saying, hey, I have the power of attorney. Can we just get the property sold and move on with this? What you're gonna find out is the power of attorney is no longer good once that person passes. So you gotta check out all the other Hot Topic episodes that we're starting to roll out, that you're starting to see, that's going to break down the differences between durable power of attorneys, and limited power of attorneys, because we're gonna break that down even more. But once that person dies, that power of attorney is no longer good. So now there would have to be a probate situation for that person that died to transfer the title to the heirs. But another great question that came up from Gerald today was, what happens when you come across the property, maybe mom or dad died, there's an heir seller, and that heir seller may have lost their faculties and there is no power of attorney, zero power of attorneys, nothing around. What's the next procedure or step that you're looking at? There's a procedure called guardianship. That would be a court procedure to try to appoint somebody to help that person and sign on behalf of that person to move assets for that person that lost their faculties and maybe can't sign documents anymore. Guardianships can be long and can be expensive, but if there's no power of attorney in place, that would be the next procedure to try to help appoint somebody and potentially get that property sold, signed, and maybe eventually closed. So these are all things that play out in real estate transactions today. There's so much to talk about, so many other scenarios that come up. And if you have questions on these things, drop a comment below, in the box below, like the video, let's hear your stories, share your experiences, whether it's a success or whether it's a nightmare. We want to hear these stories because they're great to talk about. Every scenario can be different, and there may be something out there that you've gone through that we haven't even talked about. So make sure you drop your comment, share your experiences, and we're gonna see you next time on the Hot Topic session.